As the evening sky dims to twilight, one of nature's most spectacular phenomena unfolds above. Thousands of European starlings gather, forming massive, undulating clouds that move with breathtaking synchronicity. These aerial ballets, known as murmurations, are not just visually stunning, they represent a perfect intersection of mathematical precision, evolutionary adaptation, and ecological controversy. Join us as we explore the science behind these mesmerizing formations, their devastating environmental impact, and what they teach us about collective behavior across species and systems. When thousands of European starlings take to the evening skies between October and March, they create one of nature's most captivating spectacles. These murmurations feature anywhere from hundreds to tens of thousands of birds moving in synchronized, fluid patterns that seem to defy explanation. The flock flows like liquid across the sky, morphing and transforming with breathtaking coordination. What makes this display particularly striking is its timing, occurring at dusk when the fading light creates dramatic silhouettes against the twilight sky. Throughout the day, smaller groups join the main flock, building momentum as evening approaches. The resulting aerial display can last between 30 minutes to an hour before the birds suddenly descend into their roosting sites, typically dense vegetation or urban structures that offer protection from predators and harsh weather conditions. While these murmurations appear beautiful to human observers, they evolved primarily as a sophisticated defense mechanism. When predators like peregrine falcons approach, the massive, shifting cloud of birds creates a sensory overload that makes targeting individual prey nearly impossible. The density can be staggering, up to 500,000 individuals in a single murmuration, though these numbers have declined significantly in recent decades. What's most remarkable about these displays is their spontaneous nature. There is no leader directing the flock and no predetermined pattern being followed. Instead, each bird responds to the movements of those around it, creating a ripple effect that propagates through the entire group with astonishing speed and precision. This decentralized decision-making process allows the flock to respond instantly to threats or changing conditions without requiring any central coordination, a perfect example of swarm intelligence in action. The seemingly magical coordination of starling murmurations follows surprisingly simple rules that produce complex emergent behavior. Research published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences revealed a fascinating insight: each starling coordinates with exactly 7 nearest neighbors, regardless of the murmuration's size. This creates what scientists call a scale-free correlation, meaning changes in direction propagate throughout the entire flock irrespective of how many birds are involved, whether hundreds or hundreds of thousands. This phenomenon, known as scale-free behavioral correlation, is exceedingly rare in nature. When physicists analyze these movements, they observe that the birds exist in a critical state balanced between order and chaos, allowing information to transfer instantaneously across the entire group. The response time between birds is approximately 100 milliseconds, faster than human conscious reaction time. This suggests starlings may utilize specialized neural pathways that bypass normal decision-making processes, similar to the reflexes that allow humans to pull away from hot surfaces before consciously registering pain. Scientists attempting to simulate murmurations through computational models must account for 3 primary rules that govern the starling's flight: separation, avoiding collisions with neighbors; alignment, matching the direction of nearby birds; and cohesion, staying close to the group. When followed by thousands of individuals simultaneously, these simple rules generate the complex, fluid movements we observe in nature. The mathematics behind these interactions involves sophisticated vector calculations, nearest neighbor algorithms, and principles from statistical physics that describe how local interactions produce global patterns. The starling's ability to maintain precise spacing, not too close to risk collision yet not far enough to break formation, represents a remarkable optimization problem solved through evolutionary processes. This spacing, typically maintained at about a wingspan's distance between birds, creates the visual density of the flock while minimizing the aerodynamic disadvantages of flying in another bird's wake. This balancing act results in the fluid, coordinated movements that make murmurations so mesmerizing. Despite their beauty, starling murmurations represent an ecological disaster in many parts of the world. European starlings are not native to North America but were introduced in 1890 when Eugene Schieffelin released about 100 birds in New York's Central Park. His misguided effort was part of a plan to introduce all birds mentioned in Shakespeare's works to America. Today, more than 200 million starlings spread across North America, causing an estimated $800 million in agricultural damage annually. They aggressively outcompete native cavity nesting birds like bluebirds and woodpeckers for nesting sites, contributing to significant population declines in these native species. Large starling roosts can contain up to 1 million birds, producing so much excrement that it can kill trees and contaminate water sources. The problem is so severe that the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Wildlife Services program deliberately kills about 1.5 million starlings annually through poisoning, shooting, and trapping to reduce their devastating impact. Despite these extensive control efforts, starlings remain one of the most successful invasive bird species in history. The ecological impact of starlings extends far beyond direct competition with native species. These birds consume vast quantities of crops, particularly fruits, grains, and livestock feed, creating significant agricultural losses. Their feeding habits can spread invasive plant species as they disperse seeds through their droppings across wide areas. In urban environments, their massive roosts create substantial noise pollution and serious health hazards, as their droppings can harbor diseases like histoplasmosis, a fungal infection that can cause respiratory problems in humans. Ironically, while starlings have become an invasive menace in North America, their populations in their native European range have declined by more than 50% since the 1960s due to agricultural intensification, loss of grassland habitat, and reduced insect populations. This has led to starlings being placed on conservation watch lists in countries like the United Kingdom, creating a paradoxical situation where the same species requires control measures in one continent and protection in another, a stark reminder of how human intervention can disrupt natural balances in unexpected ways. Starling murmurations have inspired artists, writers, and scientists throughout human history. The ancient Romans considered these aerial displays to be omens, with soothsayers carefully interpreting the shapes as messages from the gods. Celtic mythology associated the patterns with spirits moving across the sky, while medieval European peasants feared them as manifestations of the devil himself. In modern times, murmurations have influenced contemporary art installations, choreography, and even cutting-edge artificial intelligence research. Computer scientists studying swarm intelligence and emergent behavior have developed algorithms based on starling movements that help optimize everything from telecommunications networks to autonomous vehicle coordination. Interestingly, human crowds sometimes display similar emergent properties. Studies of crowd dynamics at large gatherings show that humans unconsciously follow movement rules resembling those of starling flocks, especially during emergencies. This insight has led to improved crowd management techniques at major events and informed building design for more effective emergency evacuations. The aesthetic appeal of murmurations has made them popular subjects for nature photographers and filmmakers seeking to capture their ephemeral beauty. Time-lapse and slow-motion footage reveal intricate details of their movement patterns that remain invisible to the naked eye. Contemporary composers have created musical pieces inspired by the rhythmic, flowing quality of murmurations, while choreographers have developed dance performances that mimic their fluid dynamics. Beyond their artistic influence, starling murmurations have become essential research subjects for interdisciplinary studies bridging biology, physics, mathematics, and computer science. The principles underlying their collective behavior have practical applications in developing robotic swarms for search and rescue operations, environmental monitoring, and other complex tasks requiring coordinated movement of multiple agents. By studying how starlings maintain formation without central control, engineers are developing more resilient and adaptable systems that can function effectively even when individual components fail. The starling's murmuration represents a perfect paradox, a breathtaking natural phenomenon created by an environmentally destructive species, and a seemingly chaotic system governed by mathematical precision. As we continue to study these aerial displays, they reveal insights not just about avian behavior, but about the fundamental principles of collective movement that may apply across species and even technological systems. The tension between appreciating the beauty of murmurations while acknowledging the ecological damage caused by invasive starlings highlights the complex relationship between humans and nature. Introducing these birds to new environments demonstrates how even well-intentioned human interventions can have far-reaching, unintended consequences that persist for centuries. The story of starling murmurations serves as both a warning about ecological interference and a source of inspiration for solving complex problems through decentralized coordination. As research into murmurations continues, scientists hope to unlock more secrets about how complex group behaviors emerge from simple individual rules. These insights may help us better understand and address challenges ranging from traffic congestion to crowd safety, showing how nature's solutions to collective movement problems can inform human innovations. The mathematical principles behind starling coordination are now being applied to artificial intelligence systems, particularly in developing more efficient algorithms for distributed computing and network optimization. By studying how starlings achieve near-instantaneous information transfer across thousands of individuals, researchers are developing new approaches to data transmission and processing. The future of murmuration research likely lies at the intersection of neuroscience, physics, and computer science, understanding not just how the birds move together, but how their brains process spatial information and make split-second decisions based on minimal input. This research could lead to breakthroughs in everything from autonomous vehicle coordination to emergency response systems, demonstrating how a seemingly simple natural phenomenon can inspire solutions to some of our most complex technological challenges. The starling murmuration stands as one of nature's most profound paradoxes, a breathtaking display of collective intelligence created by one of the world's most destructive invasive species. From the simple rules governing each bird's interaction with just 7 neighbors emerges a complex, fluid system that operates on the boundary between order and chaos. These aerial ballets reveal fundamental principles about how information propagates through groups, how complex behaviors emerge from simple rules, and how evolutionary pressures can produce solutions to problems we're still trying to solve with our most advanced technology. The story of starling murmurations is also a cautionary tale about human intervention in natural systems. A well-intentioned introduction of 100 birds in 1890 led to an ecological disaster affecting countless native species and causing hundreds of millions of dollars in damage annually. Yet even as we work to control these invasive populations in North America, their numbers dwindle in their native European habitats. As we continue to study these remarkable displays, they offer lessons that transcend ornithology, informing everything from crowd safety and traffic management to robotic swarm coordination and artificial intelligence. The deadly dance of the starlings reminds us that in nature, beauty and destruction often flow from the same source, and that understanding the mathematical precision behind apparent chaos may help us address some of our most pressing challenges. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for updates. Your feedback is appreciated. We hope to see you again.